You are now listening to The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Corden on the One Podcast Network. Let's get it.
What's up? How we doing tonight? The Box Out here on the One Podcast Network. Knicks post-game show edition of The Box Out. My name is Kahlil Thomas. Joining me in a few minutes will be Jason Corden from Brooklyn, New York. And I have no words tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I have nothing to say right now. We had Game 6 tonight. Knicks, Hawks in Atlanta. And, going into the game, I had my doubts. Going into the game, I had my... As a Knicks fan, you're just born fearful of the worst possible scenarios. People asked me yesterday, are the Knicks going to end it in Atlanta? And I'm like, yeah, but, it's going to be like by, 4 or 5 points because that's what the Knicks do. And situations where they should win, they win the game, but they make it very exciting and very stressful. So they'll probably win, but it'll be a close game and it'll be down to the wire. And, they'll pull it out single digits and we'll advance. We'll move on. I was completely wrong. The Knicks defeat the Atlanta Hawks 140-89, a 51-point victory in the ATL. Some stats real quick. I want to run this through. First, fourth consecutive year the Knicks make the second round of playoffs. The most points, 140 points, the most points in Knicks playoff history. And I got to read a couple of these things. The first quarter, Atlanta went on a 9-0 run to take an 11-9 lead. 8-11 left in the first quarter. After that, it went plus 49 in favor of the Knicks, a 31-4 run to end the first quarter, which later went to a 39-4 run going into the second quarter. 10 turnovers for Atlanta in the first 13 minutes. OG had more points than the whole Atlanta team at about the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. Largest halftime lead in NBA playoff history, 83-36. On Inside the NBA last night, after the Laker Rocket game, Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck talked about the Lakers not having that killer instinct to end the series against Houston. Houston beat LA in LA last night to force a game 6 to go back to Houston. And he talked about LA lacking that killer instinct to beat Houston. Going into tonight, yes, did the Knicks feel like they would have the killer instinct and they would actually kind of go on and advance? Yes. Did I think it would be this? Hell no. Hell no. Not in a million years. Never thought it would be a 50-plus point win. And I got to bring this up too because I saw this. I was looking at the final stats and kind of going through summary. Largest lead of the game, 61 points. It is very, it has a fan. And at the end of the day, Jason and I are journalists. We cover games and we write about games and it's great. But we're both fans at the end of the day as well. And we do this podcast from a fan perspective, not as journalists or not as writers. It was really good to see them play this well because throughout the entire season, Jason was a lot more he was a lot more positive than I've been about the Knicks. I was like, I'm not really feeling it. Can he hit a switch? I don't believe in that hitting switch shit. Blah, 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 blah. And during the game, me and Jason were texting back and forth, and he said the Knicks going down 2-1 to Atlanta might have been that thing that they needed. You go down 2-1. You split the first 2 games in New York. You go to Atlanta. You lose game 3, and all hell's breaking loose, and everyone thinks you're out. And it was almost a slap in the face to them. And I think they kind of needed that slap in the face that they weren't getting before. As I welcome in Jason Court. What's going on, brother? What's going on, big dog?
Nothing much, man. What an ass whooping. What an ass whooping. And like I said you in text, man, I think the wake-up call was game 3. It was like, wait a minute, we really down 2-1 to these motherfuckers? They haven't outplayed us from maybe a quarter in the fourth quarter of game 2 and maybe for like 10 seconds of game 3. After that, it's straight annihilation. They figure something out. And I don't know what's more joyful, that the Knicks won by how much they won by, or that are we sure we're going to see Boston in the next round? Because I feel like we may not.
Well, that was my thing. I think we talked about it when we previewed. First of all, Bruce, we love you. No, God damn it, you're gonna give us tonight. God damn it, we getting this. This belongs to us tonight. Give us tonight. We'll 24 hours celebrate. We're Coach Signetti of Indiana. We'll celebrate tonight. Look ahead tomorrow, but tonight we're celebrating.
We'll enjoy Game 7 between Boston and Philly, and just watch that as a family.
Well, when we previewed it, I said the Knicks need to end this series quick because I felt like the Celtics Sixers could go 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like them getting the Knicks getting the Hawks off the docket now helps out because right now you got Boston down by 19 against the Sixers. There's going to be a Game 7. We talked about this with the Lakers inside the NBA last night. Now you're talking about this with the Celtics. It's crunch time. It's going to be tough. So we can sit back and watch. We can get the Sixers, which is still not a walk in the park. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we get the Sixers even better.
I was dreading them in the first round, too. That's who I did not want to see Knicks play.
But no matter who we get after Game 7, they've been through a 7-game series. They've been through a war. And we've been able to kind of sit and watch that war.
I kind of want Boston because Embiid showed the flaw in the sex and Boston lack of a big man, and I think that's something the Knicks could definitely exploit. Where they didn't really exploit it last year in the playoffs because of Porzingis and those guys, but those guys ain't there no more. And I think that's what I'm seeing from Philly. The Knicks would definitely continue the exploitation.
Hey, Pop, if Boston's not hitting threes, they stink. That's Boston lives and dies by the 3. Like if they're on, they're on. They were on in game 4.
Game 4 when they
were on. But since
47
game 4,
attempts was crazy.
I've never seen it. Back to the Knicks, though, kind of counterpoint. There were multiple times tonight where I saw Knicks players get the ball behind the 3-point line. They pumped fake and drove inside. And I feel like that's huge. The Knicks aren't living and dying by the 3. I hate to bring up Tibbs, like they used to do with Tibbs. I feel like Mike's kind of like, pump fake. See if you can get inside. See if you can get an easier shot. I think they're taking advantage. OG's doing that a lot. OG's lethal from beyond 3-point arc, but he's taking those inside shots now too. Cat doing the same exact thing. He's driving inside more and not just settling for those top of the key threes anymore.
It's funny you mentioned Tibbs too, because I feel like the defense intensity the last 3 games, especially tonight, it's like they're communicating more off the ball. They're all locked in. I didn't see this last year or the year before. So I guess the sense of urgency plus I don't know. Do you think it's a sense of urgency they want to finish this series, or is also the fact that the Celtics are struggling and the Pistons are struggling, as well as the Cavs are struggling, and they see, hey, we got a clear path if we handle our business?
I think they see Detroit's going to be out. I don't think Detroit's getting past Orlando. Boston's in their dogfight. Toronto is a lot tougher than I gave him credit for going into playoffs. Cleveland.
I told you, can we get RJ back? I told you.
Okay. Okay. Jason sent me a text yesterday with the offer. Wait, I want to find it because I got to read it on air because I thought about it and I was literally about to go to bed and you actually had to fuck me up because I was like, and I couldn't sleep for like an hour thinking about it. RJ Barrett from Mikal Bridges and the Knicks' first-round pick this year, would I do it? And I'm like, because RJ is playing the best ball of his career right now.
Mm-hmm.
But my argument was the amount of draft capital that we gave up to get Bridges would require a lot more in return for that. And that would be my only issue with making that deal.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
If like five first Bridges just to get back RJ, I'm like, okay, I need give me IQ back, give me RJ, and give me something else, and then maybe we'll have that conversation. But besides that, I can't make that move. Speaking of Toronto Raptors, former Toronto Raptor OG, 29 points, 7 rebounds, best player on the team in the first round. I know everyone talks about Brunson, but
yeah, it's definitely OG.
Seeing OG in the series, what were your thoughts seeing him, just how he played defensively, offensively? Everything was just clicking for him in the series.
He was everything we wanted our wing stop. He was definitely locked in. Offensively, he was more aggressive, and I think that's something that was contagious for everybody in this game. But I think it's also going to help Bridges going forward. I think he sees how well locked in OG is. He can come with, if he comes with 40% of that, I think the Knicks starting five is going to be really unstoppable in the Eastern Conference.
So starting five all scored in double figures. OG 29, Josh Hart 14, Cat with a triple-double, 12, 11, and 10. Mikal Bridges 24. So offensively tonight, Bridges was on point. Mm-hmm. That's been an issue.
He was aggressive early. I like that.
And then obviously Jalen Brunson, 17 points, 8 assists. Every single player who played in the game for the Knicks scored. Of course, the bench players all minus. I will forget that because it was garbage time and they weren't really playing defense. I'm
kind of glad Mitch got ejected, by the way, because he rolled his ankle earlier.
Yep.
I was like, you know what? Let's go in the back room. Let's go in the back.
Well, let's talk about that too, because in a weird sense, I'm like you said, I was happy he got ejected because all right, just go, just go ice that ankle down.
Yeah.
However, can we both admit that Dyson Daniels started the whole shit? And they kind of said, we got to punish both of them because, we can't just say Daniels elbowed the shit out of him in his ribs.
I don't think it was enough for neither one to get ejected. I think it was because there was a ref on the floor. Little Bowsy got ran over later on by so I think it's just a combination of people tumbling and rolling on the floor. That's why
security was on the floor. I think Mike Brown was on the floor at some point. I'm like, oh shit, this is Van Gundy circuit. Like, what is happening right now? But
oh man,
I feel like you said there was no punches thrown, about a hugging. I think Mitch going off, which seeing Mitchell Robinson go off is not something we're used to seeing.
I think Mitch was trying to get to the locker room early too with that.
Yeah, but seeing that was really cool though, because we're not used to seeing Mitch. We're not seeing any emotion from Mitchell Robinson.
Right.
So seeing that was like, oh shit, there's some fire there. I kind of like that.
We can get around that. We can definitely, harness that for the next round, whoever we play, especially if it's Embiid and those guys. Oh, my goodness.
So my next question, and I'm obviously, Bruce got me thinking ahead now. No matter we get Boston, Philly, my biggest question going into the series was going to be how Mike did his rotations. And I felt like you might have found it where, you sit Brunson in the last 90 seconds first quarter into the second quarter, bring in Alvarado to be a spark plug. You didn't see a lot of Shamet. You saw a lot of Jordan Clarkson.
I was going to ask you about that. Do you think Shamet lost a little bit of his minutes? Well, clearly in his rotation to Alvarado.
I think it's Shamet and Deuce guard wise. I think, and you said it. You said it was going to be. I didn't think Deuce would play this many minutes as quickly. I think Mike Brown just said go out and there play, even though you didn't play for months. It might be a blessing because he might be fresher than everybody else. Should Shaman have lost his spot? I'm not sure. I feel like you got to squeeze him in somewhere.
Or maybe you save him for rounds 2 and 2 and possibly further on, maybe.
Because you can go with a lineup with Shamet, Clarkson, Alvarado, Mitch, and then kind of intersplice a Hart, intersplice a OG, and something like that, and go three guard and 2 big guys, and you see what you get from that. And that will also give Bridges, that'll give Brunson, that can give Hart some time off. I think there's ways to kind of split the time up. They got lucky where these guys only played 27, 26 minutes tonight. So
a beautiful thing. In a closeout game, it's a beautiful thing.
Do you think with Tibbs, they would have played to like midway through the fourth quarter? Even up 50.
Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking that. I'm like,
Tibbs would not have called off the Dogs until the Hawks called off theirs.
Like, I was having flashbacks of Tibbs. I'm like, Tibbs will have everyone out there 2 minutes left of the game. Just like, go out there, guys. Just keep running. I'm like, God, I hate it. As much shit people talk about Mike Brown, it's just light years better.
Yeah.
Than Tibbs. It sucks. It really sucks. Bruce, to win the chip, OG has played this from now on, and Brunson cannot take more than 20 shots. Cat needs to stop shooting threes. Listen, Cat only shot 1 3 tonight. I have to go back to the series. Cat hasn't shot a lot of threes in this series.
I think his passing has been amazing in this series. His passing and rebounding and his defense.
The 4 possessions in the third quarter where he just kept finding Clarkson. I'm like, damn, okay. So I think that's his role now. His role is going to be, we're going to pass the ball. It is. It's really. I'm excited, but I'm also really looking at this Celtic Sixers score. Like, hey, what if we get the Sixers? What do we got to do? What if we get the Celtics? What do we do? So I'm on edge a little bit still.
I'm about to pull up Bill Simmons real quick. Aren't you glad that it's NBC and ESPN today, where you can flip the channels? The whole instead of going to Amazon, where you got to get off your cable.
Wait. So I was late turning the game on because I got 2 kids and shit. I'm looking for the game. First I went to NBC and it ain't there. I'm like, this fucking game is on fucking Amazon Prime. I'm gonna lose my shit. I swear to God. That's on ESPN. All right, cool. I'm good. All right, cool. But I'm very curious to see, like, the Celtics Sixers have been like this weird conglomeration. Like each team had their bad game. You see the Celtics have that bad game now. They go back to Boston. You look at the Lakers series against the Rockets. We're going to talk about, we'll talk about all the series in a second. How much pressure is on Boston right now? Because I really do think the pressure, if you look at the entire playoff field, is really on Boston because you got Tatum back and you're running in all cylinders. And the excuse for the Celtics, and Bill Simmons said this on his podcast, well, we're not really built for the playoffs because we're built has like a bridge year because we thought Tatum was going to be out. How much pressure is on the Celtics to advance past the Sixers right now?
I think there's a lot of pressure. I think, honestly, you know what? I'm going to say there's more pressure on Jason Tatum because I think some can say he kind of messed up the chemistry of the team as it was flowing. And yes, the team wasn't really built. No one expected this. The plan was for Tatum to stay out, but he saw the team was playing good. Kind of, unlike Halliburton, who was like, "Yep, they're tanking. I'm staying out the rest of the year. I'm going to WrestleMania." Tatum came back early, messed up the chemistry of the team somewhat. No one's really talking about that because everybody wants to pile on the Knicks when they win or lose, but that's another story. I think Philly and Orlando are very intriguing teams because both, when healthy, are a top 4 or 5 team in the East. And I think because they had injury-riddled seasons, and now things are starting to come together, people forget that their rosters are actually better than – I think Orlando's roster, if Wagner healthy, I think their roster is better than Detroit, and I think Philly's roster healthy is better than Boston's currently constructed. Even with Tatum coming back now, kind of messing up the chemistry a little bit, I think Philly got better dogs over there. So it would not surprise me if Philly wins this series, but Boston lives and dies by the 3, so we'll see what happens in Game 7.
We have a Tibbs defender in the chat. Please leave Tibbs alone. Stamps on the team. I agree. Bruce does not like the prime tele. I will say this.
I like the prime. No, I don't like the prime tele. No, I don't like the telecast. It's just I don't like switching off the apps.
Actually, I like Nightcap. I like that their post game.
I like their post game show.
Yeah. I like that. I think Rooks kind of controls it. And I think, first of all, Blake Griffin's a lot better than I thought he would ever be on TV. Dirk is really good. Steve Nash is a little bit to be desired. Mm-hmm. But I think Blake, especially early in the season, he was hitting some hot takes. Yeah. I like that part. You're right, though. I think going on Prime and getting off Prime and you're not fighting it because it pops up, but yeah. It just doesn't seem right that you have to do all that shit to watch a basketball game. Just turn the game on. Just turn on TNT and just watch the damn game. That's all I care about.
How much do you miss NBA TV playoff coverage? I kind of missed it this year a little bit.
I do too. See, because I think Celtics Sixers would have been the NBA TV game tonight.
Yep, but
and that would have been cool to watch this now. But no, so
NBC,
wait, so
NBC
it's on Peacock.
We'll take that.
But here's my question: Knicks have a better chance to beat Celtics than the Sixers. Knicks have no answer for Embiid until Embiid falls weird.
Embiid doesn't have an answer for Embiid. He'll fall awkwardly, and yeah.
So Celtics Sixers is on Peacock, and then NBC Sportsnet, which really isn't a channel yet. Kinda.
It's weird. I thought, you know what? As I've looked, you're absolutely right
because it's not on TV.
It's not on NBC, but it's on NBC Sports. Either way, I just gotta flip the channel. I don't gotta be disconnected apps and HDMI this.
But NBC Sportsnet is not I think they ceased operation a couple years ago. They bought it back, but it's not on a cable carrier. I think it's just on YouTube or YouTube TV or some shit. I don't.
That's what I got. I got YouTube TV.
Oh, so it's probably there for you. But
that's why
I have files. Stay at cable. It ain't on there no more. So I'm like,
really?
Sports. I think they got rid of sports. And now did some research during the 50-point lead they had. And I'm like, oh, they kind of brought it back, but they really didn't bring it back. It's weird. All right. So right now, Knicks sitting pretty, waiting to see the winner of the Celtics Sixers. The other series, Pistons Magic, Orlando up 3-2, going back to Orlando tomorrow night. Do Orlando close this out? Do you think this is done?
My heart says Orlando closes out. My mind says this is going 7 and Detroit's going to win. And I think if Orlando, tomorrow's the only chance. If it goes 7, Orlando's not going to win.
Yeah.
But they have a good chance to close out tomorrow. But I just think Detroit has to figure out. They got to figure out an offensive set outside of Cam, because they got nobody else that could create their own shot or even as a scorer. I mean, they do a little bit, but they don't use what's his name from Miami.
I mean, the problem with this series is Detroit. Everything that Detroit did well in the regular season, they're not doing well here, right? They were not big on not rebounding, turn the ball over. Cade can't hit a shot. Everything that they did, those 3 tenets of their game fell apart. Their most physical team, getting rebounds, not turn the ball over. They're doing that every time. And Orlando's not doing anything overly crazy, nothing overly complicated with schemes. They're just bodying them up and they're falling apart. So my question to you is, they got the experience against the Knicks last year in the first round, number 1 seed in the East. Was this number 1 seed? Was it? Let's put it out there. Is that number 1 seed kind of fugazi?
A little bit. It's kind of like Boston being the number 2 seed because the Knicks kind of had a 2-week bad stretch in January. So it's kind of like Boston. It's kind of like Detroit is kind of like they took advantage of a lot of teams tanking, and they caught the Knicks on very awkward Amazon Prime nights. And they built their 60 win regular season, but like we saw the Hawks a couple years ago, or we saw many other teams that number 1 seed. It doesn't mean nothing if you're not battle tested, and I think they really wasn't battle tested this entire season. They caught teams on situational nights. We never really saw a good stretch from them where we never see Detroit play a complete game. We don't know what it looks like. All we know is they're like to play bully ball, and they got a point guard who does all the scoring. That's it.
It's been interesting to see how that series progresses and see. Listen, you're at home, so you want to end it at home. So Orlando's got to get the job done there. I think Toronto hosting Cleveland next tomorrow night as well.
That looks like a 7. That looks like a 7-game series.
That's 7. I honestly think. I think Celtics Sixers, they're definitely going 7 because Sixers got this game locked. Pistons Magic go 7. I think Raptors Cavs go 7. I think Lakers Rockets go 7.
The Lakers are falling apart.
Listen, Nuggets Timberwolves will probably go 7. I think we can have across the board 7-game series except the Knicks, which would be insane.
Knicks and OKC. Imagine that. Oh, the Spurs have done too. Spurs are the gentlemen.
Spurs are OKC. I always forgot about them. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, they're home too. They're just chilling out. They chill. Lakers Rockets, and obviously I didn't watch the game because I passed out. But
same here.
I watched the highlights. I recorded Inside the NBA, so I can watch that. And listen, they talk about the panic button. The Lakers, the last two games did not look good. Houston does not have Kevin Durant, and they've won the last two games. Going back to Houston, you're up 3-2. You can end it in Houston. Is this panic time when you still don't have Luka Doncic or Austin Reeves for the Lakers?
Yes, because because I learned a long time ago, even though they lost, you could really tell a lot from the team. And I think when Houston lost that 6-point lead in whatever seconds, this series could easily be 3-2 in their favor right now. So I think they know they're the better team, even with Durant. And it's LeBron and a bunch of assembled team. It's not really a team without Luka. Well, now Thing is back. Austin
It's
Reeves.
Cleveland. Essentially, the Lakers is Cleveland from LeBron's first couple years.
But LeBron's 40-something now, so it's like, hey, like the longest thing goes, the more wear and tear is for him. So I definitely think it could go 7, and I think the Rockets could steal Game 7 in LA. It's not. Would that be the first time someone's come back from 3-0?
Yes.
Damn. Well, hate to see it happen to LeBron.
GOAT debate dead if Rockets come back and win the series.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, LeBron wasn't beating nobody. I mean, LeBron. Jordan was not beating nobody in a 7-game series with the Wizards, and he had Rip Hamilton. And he had Rip Hamilton in his prime.
Valid. Was it his prime? Was Rip Hamilton in his prime in Washington?
I mean, he was still coming off that great UConn, days.
Yeah, I think that was he was ascension. He was ascending Rip Hamilton. I don't think he wasn't Detroit Piston Hamilton yet. He wasn't there yet. So reports are saying that Durant's going to sit out Game 6. He's not going to play, but obviously they kind of figured out how to play without him, and it might actually be better without him. I hate to think that, but they're playing well. They're almost playing it the way they played last year before he even got there. So I don't really see this being a bad thing, him not playing. And worst case, sit him out. You have a Game 7 in LA in, let's say, 4 days. Maybe he plays in that game. He can give you something. Like, would you take?
Well, I think that's the mentality they must have over there, because they're like, we don't need. We think we have enough to force a Game 7. Would you be good to go Saturday or Sunday? I think that's their mentality.
Because I think a Durant at
50,
55, maybe. I would say he can still get the shot off. He may not be able to run really fast, but I think a Durant at 55 that can give you 20 good minutes and give you a few shots here and there, because Durant can still shoot. I'd rather have that in Game 7 than even like, can you come back in Game 6 to give us that? We would need that for Game 7. We'll hold it down to Game 6 or for Game 6. You need to come back and hold it down for Game 7. Give us some Willis Reed type shit and help us out. So OKC, San Antonio, they're at home. Easy series. They're chilling. We always talk about, and I think in baseball, especially when they have like the wild card round and divisional series, and those teams who don't play for a week and a half, they always lose because it always happens that way. Does this help? I think this definitely helps the Spurs with Wembanyama and the concussion shit, because I still think he was kind of concussed.
Yeah.
And in OKC resting their guys. But could this hurt them in the second round not playing all this time?
No, because I think we're at a collision course to see the Spurs and OKC in the Western Conference Finals. I think no matter who these teams play in the second round, I think they will dust them up pretty quickly. If it's the Lakers, the Rockets, Denver, or Minnesota, they're all 4 of those teams will be hobbling in to our Game 7, let alone the second round. So I think we're on I think the West is a lot more easier to figure out the road to the conference final than it is in the East.
So obviously Thunder plays the winner of the Lakers Rockets series. Spurs plays the winner of the Nuggets Timberwolves series. I'm going to say Thunder Rockets, which I think will be an easy series. OKC.
Yes.
Nuggets Timberwolves, who they're playing right now. Who do you have in that series as of this second right now as you're on? As you're watching the game?
I think Minnesota finds a way to win one of these games. That's all they need. They need one, whereas Denver needs two. And I think Randall can carry them to one. I don't know if it's this game or the next game. They just need one.
Listen, the Randall handle was in full effect the other night. Yeah, I saw it. I'm like, damn, this brings you back. This brings you back for years. I was like, I've seen this before, and it's working because that's all they got right now. The down and
Randall and Rudy.
Yeah, and DiVincenzo's out towards Achilles. We got another Achilles injury now in the league. So it's Randall or bust right now. That's all they got. And Nas. Randall and Nas. That's Minnesota right now. God bless them. Obviously, Knicks get the win of Celtics Sixers. That's going to go 7. And then we have the top series, Pistons, Magic, Cavaliers, Raptors. That's still going on as well. So you picked the Pistons for that series.
I picked Pistons. I think they'll find a way to win.
And Cavs, Raptors. Who do you got?
Cavs at 7. I think it's an old school traditional. All the teams win their home game, and the Cavs have more home games.
So that sets up an interesting kind of second round. But
I think the Cavs will beat them in the second round. I think the Cavs will beat them in the second round.
So that brings us back to the Knicks. Who do we want to see in the second round? Do we want Boston, or do we want to see Boston?
I'd rather see Boston than I'll see Philly, because I think Philly would present matchup problems that I'm not sure if the Knicks can handle. It'll be a test. I think Philly will be a more tactical series. I think they play Boston. It's straight up, okay, guard the 3-point line, play hard-nosed defense, and run the ball through Cat, because they have no bigs that can guard anybody.
Are you telling me that Nikola Vucevic can't stop Cat?
He can't stop Cat.
He can't stop
Drummond.
or Luka Garza or Queta.
They can't stop Queta. I don't know if they can stop Josh Hart. I think Josh Hart would give them a problem in the post.
I want Boston, but I almost want Philly, because I want to whoop Philly's ass one more time. I just want to beat them. I just want to beat them.
Hedgecombe and Maxey, man, they present some problems, some challenges.
Yeah,
and a motivated Paul George. You gotta forget motivated Paul George.
Well, that was my next point. I think Paul George has been a bigger X factor too, because I think we're seeing Paul George playing at a level we haven't seen in a couple of years. I know everyone's like, "Oh, he played well last year at LA." Mm-hmm. The PG we're seeing right now is the PG that we saw a couple of years ago. Can he keep this up? That's my question. Can Paul George be Paul George, playoff P, throughout the playoffs, or is this just like he's emptying a tank now against Boston? So if they do get second round, we're not going to see the same guy in second round. Do you think he can keep this going?
I think he can keep it going. Maybe for a couple of games in the second round, but the Knicks they could throw so many bodies at him, so I don't know. And we forget he's up there too. This is what, season 15, 14 for him? Yeah.
Well, I think the same idea we have in Boston, where the Knicks kind of built the team to play Boston with OG, Bridges. You can put one on Tatum, put one on Brown. You almost do the same thing against Philly. Edgecombe would get OG. Maxey would get Hart. Maxey would get Bridges. Mm-hmm. I think Cat gets Embiid, and you're looking at essentially two of the same goddamn players, same style of play. So I'm like, okay, that kind of cancels each other out.
Same thing with Mitch and Drummond.
Yeah, so I think everything kind of cancels out, and it becomes, okay, can Alvarado make a shot? And is the bench, and this is where Shamet, you mentioned Shamet earlier, maybe Shamet is that X factor for them in the second round.
I'd rather see Boston.
You're like, nope.
I did not want Philly in the first round. My prayers were answered. Let them be Boston's problem. Good question for you. Which do you think the NBA deems as a better success story? The playing games or the damn cup in December? Especially like especially if 7 and 8 seeds advance to the second round this year, and this is not the first time somebody has advanced from the play-in. Remember the Heatles, not the Heatles, but the Heat.
The Heatles.
They've made it. They made it out of the play-in to this. They made it all the way to the finals. Matter of fact, yeah, with number 1. That was the play-in team.
Yeah, I think the play. I think the cup is like, I feel like people kind of care about it, but don't really care about it. It's something to watch. It's like an ESPN bowl game that no one. It's like the Idaho Potato Bowl.
I was gonna say Maui Classic.
Yeah. Damn, you went a lot higher than me. I went to Bahamas Bowl, the Popeye Bahamas Bowl. Yeah, I think it's like that. I think it's like the Maui Classic and like the what was the one back in the day that I used to love staying up late to watch? The Great Alaskan Shootout. It's kind of like that.
That was a good one. All
right. They didn't bring that back. I love watching those games at midnight when I was like 10 years old. I feel like the play-in's excited because those teams are getting that last shot. And now you're seeing a team like Orlando, who lost their game, making a run against the number 1 seed in the East. So I feel like the play-in tournament is probably the best creation. I think the NBA Cup is like, it's made for TV. Some teams really don't care about it. Other teams are like, we'll get our bench some money because that guy makes $2 million, but I make $45 million. So that guy should get an extra $500,000. No one really gives a shit about the NBA Cup and Grand.
And when you think about Orlando and the position they're in right now, nobody saw this a month ago. Everyone assumed Charlotte was going to make the playoffs. Orlando was dead in the water. People's heads were going to roll. And here they are, a win away from the second round.
It's a crazy story if they make it there. It is a crazy story if Detroit gets knocked out. But once again, they're not ready. That's gonna be a conversation. They needed this. They needed it last year. Oh, they needed this year. So what's the excuse next year? What's the excuse next year if they don't get a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference? Oh, they weren't ready.
They didn't play the Knicks. They didn't play the Knicks. They was waiting for the Knicks. That was their whole MO. All year they've been crying how they want to play the Knicks in the playoffs. Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, you can't even get past Orlando. You can't get past Orlando. So right now, about 1:14 left in Philly, 105-89. Sixers on top. So there will be a game 7 on Saturday. In the second quarter, 6:50 left. Timberwolves up 40-39 over the Nuggets. They're up 3-2. So Minnesota wins tonight. They advance to the second round of the playoffs. Tomorrow night, we got 3 games. We got Pistons, Magic, Cavs, Raptors at the same exact time, which I hate, by the way. Can't stand that they're doing this shit. And then 9:30, Rockets, Lakers in Houston. Rockets like to stay alive and force a game 7.
What's on Prime? What's on NBC? What's
Yeah, well, all 3 are on Prime tomorrow. So you would have to get out of one game to go to another game. I'm over. And then the Saturday game 7s are TBD, so it could be on Spike TV for we know on Saturday night. We don't know where these games are going to be at. Real quick before we do go, because it's going to be a quick show because I'm exhausted and I want to get some fucking sleep and finish my IPA in my celebration IPA.
There you go, as you should.
NCAA tournament will be expanding to 76 teams.
Oh Lord!
Woo! My God. Your first 4 will now be a first 12 played at 2 different locations. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants an expanded tournament. How do you feel about an expanded tournament?
I'm tired of this money grab. I'm tired of all of it. I get why they're doing it. I will not be interested until it's down to like the final 4 of the final 4 get-in teams. But does this mean like we're guaranteed more Big East, Big Ten?
Essentially, it's being done so teams like fucking Auburn, who should not have gotten in, will get in now. There's be a lot of 16 and 14 SEC teams who should not get anywhere near the tournament in the tournament. And this is why they're doing it. I think the excuse of, this is going to give more teams in smaller conferences opportunities that are on the bubble who don't get to play bigger teams like a Miami of Ohio who can't get good games is bullshit. You want to get more SEC, more ACC, more Big 10, more Big 12, and more Big 10. You want to get the big conferences in there because you don't give a shit about mid-majors anymore. It was cute. It was cute when Gonzaga did it. It was cute when George Mason did it. It was cute when Norfolk State advanced deep. It was great when Butler did it for 2 years in a row. But NCAA do not want mid-major teams advancing. They don't want them anywhere near it. They need big conferences. They need big teams, and they want names because the NCAA are star fuckers, and that's all they care about. They want blue bloods, and they want big name schools, and that's all they care about.
All facts.
It's amazing. It is insane, and I'm sorry if the argument is we're going to get more MAC teams or more teams from the SWAC. Like, no, you're not, because those big conferences are going to be in the committee rooms fighting against that because they don't want their teams from the ACC and the SEC playing those teams and getting blown off at a game.
Nope, they don't want that. No one wants to see that.
But so here, which is interesting, here's the team that would have made it if it was expanded this year. Oklahoma, Auburn, who ended up winning NIT, but that's Pearl's Nepo son.
Oh my God, who's going to be in the NIT now? Who's going to be in the NIT? Oh man, they dilute that. Go ahead.
So the NIT is just a mid-major tournament now.
Yeah,
that's what the NIT is going to be. The NIT is going to be the best mid-major because now you have the NCAA tournament and then you have the college basketball crown, which is also bullshit because Rutgers was in the college basketball crown and Rutgers had a losing record. So how were they in a postseason tournament when they had a losing record?
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Oklahoma, Auburn, San Diego State, New Mexico, Indiana, Stanford, Seton Hall would have made it in its expanded field, and Cincinnati. But Joe Lenardi said in the article, San Diego State and New Mexico State have been frequent tournament participants. And so there are no true mid-majors in the group of teams that I just said. Not a one. San Diego State's in the tournament all the time, and New Mexico's in the tournament all the time. So this is where we are. I don't think Bruce said college basketball is dead. I don't think it's dead. I think we almost need another team like a Gonzaga or Butler to make a run year after year and just start knocking out Goliaths. We need a David to start knocking teams out every time they play him all the time, every single time to kind of get the support back. Because I think everybody's forgetting that mid-majors exist because we haven't had a real mid-major make a dent in years.
And it's going to probably have to be a team that's been together for a while because everyone else is going to be ones and dones.
Yeah, I'm concerned that the NCAA is kind of blocking out mid-major teams from the tournament, men and women. Because women, same thing, they're expanding as well, and the women obviously have more mid-majors, like North Dakota State. Actually, North Dakota State would be the only mid-major team in the expanded tournament. The other ones would be BYU, Utah, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Stanford. So more big conferences. So men and women both are full of shit. But yeah,
pretty much.
So if you could make the decision, would you have kept it at 64?
I would keep it at 64.
And don't do the first 8 or first 4 or first 64. You start on Thursday and you just play games.
Yeah. Because now with the final 12, what are you really playing for? Just to get your ass whooped?
You're playing to get to the next part of the final first 4. Because it's probably going to be levels to the first 12 where you got to get past this point to get to this point to get to the actual bracket.
So to be a 16 seed or a 12 seed or a 13 seed, you have to jump these hurdles just to get an opportunity to be a lower seed. Got
it. Bruce, I'm good. I'm not doing this. I can't.
No.
If I do that, I'll have this whole desk could be full of these, and
fire everyone.
Fire David Stearns. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got. Jay, good show. Box Out After Dark. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back on Sunday to do a first round.
Oh yeah, all the game 7 should be wrapped. Yeah, all the game 7 should be wrapped up by then.
So we'll start our preview of round 2. Quick programming update. We will not be here next week. Neither will Bruce. I am stuck with 2 kids for 3 days next week. So I cannot do any shows next week.
We will be praying for you, man. We'll be praying for you.
My wife is leaving and going out of town, and it's me and 6 and a 3-year-old. So we ain't doing shit. The one podcast network will be dark next week. So we'll be back the week after. Full shows. Emergency pods, if necessary, will pop on like we do tonight. Tonight was actually, I'm not that tired, actually, considering it's like after 10 o'clock at night.
That is good. When you finish that drink, well, it might be a different story.
Finish that drink, I'm like, all right, let's talk more. We're going to preview Knicks Celtics, Knicks Sixers, and look at all the possible matchups. I'll be ready to go at midnight. So, yeah. So, we'll be back next Sunday, the next week. No armchairing, no box out. Also, new episode of Lift Free Lab Hearts coming up in the next couple of weeks as well. So I'll give you more details when we get to that, because that episode will be all about Richard Pryor, who is our favorite comedian. So Richard Pryor episode will be in a couple of weeks, so we'll let you know about that too. But in the meantime, for Jason, I'm Kahlil. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next Sunday. This Sunday, in a couple of days. Peace.
This has been The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Kortner. Subscribe now for the best tri-state area basketball talk.